So Abercrombie just came out with an activewear line, and you know I had to try it. I got so many requests for this, but honestly, I've been loving Abercrombie like regular clothes lately ever since they came out with their Curve Love jean line, which why did it take so long for brands to realize that some people have a little more like booty and thighs than others, you know? Anyways, one of the only pairs of jeans that I can actually wear, and they came out with an activewear line, and that's kind of what I do here on this channel. So I bought nearly everything that they launched. I don't know if this is their first time doing activewear, but this is the first collection of their YPB, which means your personal best line. I bought all of this myself, and I tried to get a good mix of colors and everything. They had kind of like 5 or 6 colors of their core pieces. I feel like everything's kind of in a mid to high price point. The tops were kind of like around $50 and the leggings were like $69 to $70, which is kind of on par with the mid to high price point Instagram activewear brands. So still cheaper than something like Alo Yoga, Lululemon, but definitely not in the affordable range. But if it's really solid, I would spend $70 on a pair of good leggings, especially since I do notice that Abercrombie often has like little sales going on the website, so you can kind of get like 15 to 20% off occasionally, and a lot of this stuff is still in stock. And it looks like everything is coming in a size range from extra small to 2XL, and the leggings have 2 different lengths. It's only a short and a regular length of a 7/8 legging though, so it's not super tall girl friendly. Unfortunately, because I know Abercrombie, the jeans come in a long length, which is great for me as a tall gal, but these are gonna be a little on the shorter side of leggings. Anyways, if you like my honest activewear reviews, make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe, and let's start talking about the pieces. Also, we're really channeling spring today. Just painted my nails yellow, get the yellow sports bra. Feeling bright and fun. I generally wear a size small in most Abercrombie items. I'm like a 25 long in their Curve Love jeans, so I just went with a small in everything for the activewear. I believe that's where their size chart put me. So let's start off with the Squareneck tank. There wasn't like an actual sports bra in the collection. It was just this Squareneck tank and this little button-up Henley. I definitely thought I was getting the Henley. Turns out I got 2 of the Squareneck tanks, so I'm really great at online shopping. Anyways, first impressions, the material's a 78% polyester, 22% elastane, and it feels pretty good so far. It's like a smooth, very slightly brushed material. I say brushed all the time on this channel. I know some of you guys don't really know what it means, but that's when it has a slight fuzziness to the fabric and gives it that really soft feel. So I would say this is like a light brushing. So here's the fabric up close, very slightly brushed, so I don't think it's going to be super pill prone. So this is just a little Squareneck tank. It is $50, and there are just like a ton of affordable options for little like workout tanks like this on Amazon. I have a bunch of favorites. Like Levento has a really great one that you can get for like $15. So for certain activewear pieces, I'm willing to splurge if something is really good and unique, but for something like a tank like this, I usually just can't make the splurge. Kamo Fitness has some really great ones as well. And another thing I'm unsure about, usually when I have these little workout tanks, they have a built-in bra lining. I'll get one of mine out in a second, but the inside of this one, it just has some seams to keep the cup pads in place, but there's no real elastic or anything, so it's not gonna kind of like be nice and snug under your bust and give quite as much of that support. So this is the Abercrombie one. Here's one from Neoprene. This is an AliExpress brand, and as you can see, they're very similar, but this is like $20, this is $50. And just showing the inside of the tanks, the Abercrombie one has no elastic, and the AliExpress one has a full-on shelf lining, so it's gonna be a little more supportive. Some people might not like the inner shelf lining because you can like very slightly see a little elastic from the outside. Personally, I don't think it's very noticeable, and I just prefer to have the extra support, but just wanted to put that out there. Anyways, overall has a very seamless look. I'm sure that this is going to be very comfortable, and just has a little raised silicone YPB logo on the back. So I like how subtle this is. Just very subtle, but it's still that raised silicone, so it's a little more luxurious than just like a vinyl. All right, so here is the top in a small. I would say it's definitely pretty snug. Even without the elastic, I actually feel decently supported because it's just so snug all the way around. So I would definitely stay true to size with your normal sports bra size, but if you're in between, I would probably size up because it is a little bit snug in some areas. I feel like it could cut in back here over time. Just be careful of that. Even though the seams are really soft, it might not feel like chafing over time. It is just a little bit snug. But because I am nice and compressed, which I do like being squished down in my sports bras, I'm getting a solid medium support. So even though it's not a true sports bra, it's actually decently supportive. I could see myself going on a walk or working out in this. Probably wouldn't go running in it, but I don't go running anyway. So I like the square neckline, and I feel like in this snug size, the straps aren't going to fall down on me, even though they're just straight up and down. So I actually feel like this would stay put really well. It has a little seam along the bottom, but no elastic, so it's not gonna cut in at the bottom there. And the material feels pretty solid as well. So I feel like this is an okay top if it comes in some colors that interest you, but it is pretty basic for just one of these like workout tanks, and I just have so many alternatives that I don't think I would make the $50 splurge on this one, but it's really not bad. Moving right along with the 7-inch biker shorts. So everything is basically made of the same material as the top. So we got some 7-inch biker shorts. These are the only fitted shorts that they have. I personally think that 7 inches is a great length. I know it can be a little long for some people, but I love the length. So these are a seamless waistband. The waistband is also double thickness. They also have a little hidden pocket in the waistband as well, which is actually decently big. Like you could probably fit a decent amount of stuff in there. It'll be noticeable from the front, obviously, but still. And they said on the website that it was like a V tapered seam in the back. This looks pretty flat across to me. I don't really think it's gonna be like super flattering on the glutes. And they also have a front seam. So these feel pretty basic and have a front seam, and they're $45. So for me, if I'm going to splurge a little bit on a short, I want it to have no front seam just because that's what I prefer. At this point in 2022, I just don't really want to have camel if I can avoid it. So already some alternatives to this short that just come to mind based on the fabric would be Colorful Koala. Those do have pockets and they're 6-inch, not 7. And Sanita also makes a 7-inch biker short that has pockets. That one does have a front seam as well. As we can tell, I'm just not really into paying for like expensive basics when I know I have so many like affordable basics out there. This isn't meant to be an Abercrombie alternative video. Need to get back on track a little bit. Okay guys, I'm just not interested in splurging on basic shorts that give me a raging camel, you know? The front seam and I, we're just not friends anymore. I am so used to no front seam leggings that I just can't do it. So I have adjusted quite a bit, but it's still just a problem. So that's just not something I want to have to worry about during my whole workout. Like I can pull it down a little bit, and honestly, is it even better? Like I'm already kind of sagging the crotch. These cause a lot of camel. So for that reason alone, I just can't see myself wearing them. Anyways, I love the 7-inch inseam. I think it's a really nice biker length that's not like too long. Whenever I have bikers that like go down to my thighs, it just looks a little bit awkward on me, so I like this kind of like mid biker length. We're definitely snug on the thighs down here, but because it's over the bulk of my thighs, I'm okay with it. I'm not getting any true cutting in. We just have a little compression down here. I wouldn't say they're the most thick thigh friendly. We're having a little compression down here, but for me, it's okay. In the shorts here, I'm getting about a medium compression, maybe a little more like medium to high down here at the thighs, but this fabric definitely is very thick. I can tell it's going to be really opaque and maybe even moderately cellulite friendly just because it is pretty thick. Are the glute seams going above my glutes? Wait, I'm impressed. One second, I need to see. Okay, even with pulling the crotch down a little bit to avoid the camel, the glute seams are actually still sitting above my glutes. That was not something I was expecting. I was expecting the glute seams to sit like right over the middle of my glutes, but they're actually sitting above. So we're gonna give them, I think I'm still gonna go with a medium on the booty scale because they're not curved or anything to add any enhancement, but it's better on the glutes than I thought it would be. And I really like how on these shorts we have no top band, which is not true for the leggings later on. I don't know why you would have a top band on the leggings but not the shorts or anything. But so if you like a front seam on your bottoms, these actually are pretty nice. I'm not having many problems besides the front seam, which is just too much for me. But again, until they come out with something a little more unique, I just feel like a lot of these basics I already have from other affordable brands that would stop me from splurging on these. So this is their first launch. Maybe they will come out with some more like unique pieces later, but there are so many activewear brands that have basics that I'm just not willing to splurge on the front seam. You guys get it at this point. We need to move on. Let's move on with the lined running shorts. So I got this one in the blue color, but they also had these really cute like color block ones as well. So they're a 3-inch short, kind of that like looser style short. They look like they'll be a nice high rise, and it's got an elastic waistband with a drawstring. I love to have the option of the drawstring just because sometimes they aren't quite tight enough on my waist. It's really hard to find a pair of these looser style running shorts that don't have the underwear shaped lining. They have the short shape lining. The only other ones I know of are the Buff Bunny Flow shorts, but these do have an inner short lining. So I'm already kind of feeling excited about these. And the inner short lining is a super lightweight, stretchy mesh. So here's the inner lining. It's a super stretchy mesh. And here's the rest of the fabric. It's not the same brush material. It's a little more of that like athletic windbreakery type. Okay, I'm kind of excited about these shorts. I feel like they're a good length. I like that little lining. We have side pockets as well. Okay, let's try these on. Okay, I'm actually liking these shorts a good amount. So first of all, we have that mesh short lining that's super stretchy, so it's not gonna cut into your thighs down there. It's actually really comfortable. They could be just like a tiny bit more high rise on me, but for most people, this will probably be fine. I have a really long torso. I love that they have the drawstring, because although they were pretty good in my size small, I still did tighten the drawstring. So I would stay true to size on these. They're not like super flowy, but they're definitely not tight on my butt anywhere, and I wouldn't want them to be much bigger because they might look just like a little awkwardly big. So I'm liking the small. We have 2 pockets here. A zipper pocket would be nice, but at least we have something. No back pockets. You can definitely see the inner short lining from some angles, so if it bothers you to see the lining underneath, just know that it is a possibility. And this material isn't like the softest. Like, I can definitely feel like it might be a teeny bit itchy over time on this waistband, especially because it's this like windbreakery material scrunched together. So I find like the Buff Bunny Flow short material to be a little softer, but these ones are just a teeny bit shorter, still gonna cover your butt. I feel like these are definitely a win. I like that they did the short lining because it's hard to find, and they're not like super low rise like some running shorts. So I would recommend these. There is a possibility for these shorts to roll up on the inside, but I just did my squat test and they actually stayed put, so they might actually stay put decently well. Another benefit of the short lining is not only do you have like secured glute coverage no matter how you move, but you also don't get the underwear lines that come with the shorts that have an underwear lining, which is a huge pet peeve of mine. So these have a nice like seamless look. Okay, let's move on to the 7/8 leggings. I got these in the taupe color block. Oh my god, they have a top band. Guys, not $69 for a pair of leggings with a top seam. No. I sometimes feel like when these brands like that are already established in clothing come out with activewear, it just seems to be like a couple years behind. Like when you buy from an activewear brand, they have like the newest like styles that people like the no top band and no front seam. And we literally have a top band and a front seam on these, and they're $69. So I'm not so convinced. Okay. They also are pretty good about listing the measurements on the website. Like for the jacket, they literally listed the like sleeve length, which I feel like is really good. But for the 7/8 leggings, they only listed the inseam length of the short version of the leggings. Like, why would you not list both of the inseams? That just seems like just a little bit more, like the extra mile. So I only know that the short inseam is 23 inches. I'm assuming that the regular length, which is what I got, is a 25-inch inseam, which is kind of like a normal 7/8 length. So this is made of the same material, feels maybe like a little bit more dense in the black color. Double thickness waistband, and it does have a seam at the top, like I mentioned. So here you can see there is that seam at the top. So whenever you have a seam at the top of leggings, there's a possibility of it cutting in. There are times where I will accept a seam at the top of leggings, mostly with sleek performance leggings that have a tendency to slide down. But because these are a soft brushed legging, there's really no reason to need the top seam. We got the front seam as well, and there's an extended crotch gusset that extends all the way down the leg. And it seems like the seams on the back are just very slightly tapered. Hopefully that does the trick. All right, here are the leggings. I'm getting the same like medium, almost medium to high compression out of these. I don't know if you can tell in the black, but I'm still getting so much camo in these, and like I'm not even pulling them up. It's too much for me. I also am not loving the waist on these. I showed that it had the little seam before, but as you can see, the little seam part is making it kind of like flare out up the top and I can't really get it to lay flat, even though I'm sure I could not size down in these because they're already pretty compressive and we're already getting seam issues. So it's just really not sitting right. I will say it's not cutting into me with the seam at the top though, because it's actually like flaring out instead of cutting in, but I don't think either way the seam is going that I like it. So I feel like we had a missed opportunity for some pockets here. This little panel detailing would have been perfect to have a little pocket. I do like the panel detailing. I think it goes really nice with the top. It has kind of like a seamless transition from the waistband to the body of the leggings. And I also feel like I get a good amount of lower tummy control as well. It dips down a little bit in the front. So I do feel like I'm getting lower tummy control, especially since the waistband is double thickness. It's actually providing pretty good compression there. The seams sit a little bit lower than before. My hip bones are kind of like right here and the seam is just a tiny bit below. So we're gonna go with a medium booty scale again. Also, these are decently compressive, so I do feel like they might squish down the glutes just a little bit. But again, not as bad as I thought. I really like that they're keeping that glute seam at least not too low. Thick compressive fabric. I would also say that this one is cellulite friendly, especially in the black, but that's kind of obvious. And this definitely is a 7/8 length on me. I think it is a 25-inch inseam, as I was saying before. So in terms of sizing, I would stick true to size, but if you're in between, I would size up just because it is decently compressive and the front seam is pretty invasive. Since it is this slightly brushed material, it definitely is going to attract a little bit of pet fur and lint, especially in these darker colors. I'm just existing near Peach right now. Here, we should show what Peach is up to. Okay, anyway, she is right here taking a nap. I'm just existing near Peach and I already have some fur on these. So yeah, like I said, I will splurge $70 on a pair of really nice leggings, but these are just not doing it for me. Very basic and definitely causing me camo problems. So I think Abercrombie has a little ways to go on their activewear. Okay, as I said before, I accidentally got 2 of the square neck tanks, and this color of the square neck tank came with a scrunchie. The other one did not. So I don't know if one of them was missing the scrunchie or what, but it seems like it's meant to have the scrunchie because it's like attached to the tag. Okay, then I got the neoprene full zip. They had one other jacket as well, but that one was like $100. This one was only $80. Still expensive, but not $100. Okay, so the material on this one is a 71% polyester, 22% viscose, and 7% elastane. So I was expecting a little more of a structured fit, but it does kind of feel like a lightweight sweatshirt. Definitely has a little bit of structure with this collar, and I feel like the collar is really cute, but it's not quite as thick as I was expecting. Looks like about a full length, but it's not gonna be like over your butt full length. There's a little draw cord at the bottom to kind of cinch it in. Zippered pockets, love to see zippered pockets. And here's this fabric up close. It's just a little marled sweatshirt material, no fleece lining or anything. Let's try it on. All right, so here's the jacket. I actually think it's a nice little like lightweight summer jacket. The material is actually pretty soft to the touch and has a little bit of stretch to it and just is nice and lightweight. So I'm actually liking it a little more than I thought because I thought it was gonna be like thicker, which it's fine that it's not. So we have the zippered pockets and they also have some hidden inside pockets as well. And let's zip it up. This is a size small, so I think it just has a little bit of an oversized shape. So no need to size up in this one. I think that they're already pretty oversized. And then it has 2 little draw cords on either side, so you can kind of have that little like bunched up sweatshirt look. So yeah, I think this is pretty cute. So yeah, I actually think this is pretty cute. I would probably get it on sale just because it's $80. It's not horrible for a jacket, but like I said, Abercrombie does often have like little mini sales. And it's like a nice like spring jacket just because it has a little bit of weight to it. And it's a nice spring jacket because it has like a little bit of weight to it, but it's not too warm. This would actually be really cute if I like wore this to class. I'm kind of liking this one. Just some details. The zipper is just like a plain metal zipper, and the little details at the side for tightening is like this little metal drawstring detail, which I think is actually pretty cute. I don't usually see something like this. It does kind of hide under the jacket anyway. Okay guys, that's it for my Abercrombie YPB activewear review. I think some overall pros, I like the thickness, density, and compression of the fabric. It definitely holds you in and is really squat proof. So I think they definitely have a nice fabric. Just all of the bottoms were giving me some crazy camel, which I'm just not really into at this point. And all of the pieces are very basic, which isn't a problem. I just think you can find greater value elsewhere. That being said, I don't think any of these pieces were really bad. I did really like the running shorts. And yeah, let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. Did you try this collection? Are you going to try this collection, or is it just a little basic? Not that all activewear needs to be crazy, but you know what I mean. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far, please make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.